The biggest football final that, well, England has been a part of since 1967, unfortunately didn't go their way. Yeah, I was kind of rooting for them because I didn't really know all about this underlying tension that was happening at the time, but ever since they ended up losing in penalty kicks, like, what fucking goofy ass sport decides a major championship on fucking penalty kicks? Like, at least the NHL has sense enough, because normally during the regular season, if you get past the stupid truncated overtime period, then you go to penalty shots, then you go to a shootout. But then, at least they run continuous overtime in the fucking playoffs when it matters. But you know what? If you gotta win a championship off of fucking a free throw competition, like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, Italy took home the crown. Apparently, they were playing a fairly dirty game. A lot of jersey tugging and what have you. I don't know the nuances of soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, no, it definitely would have been cool to see England, because they were so behind that team, win a championship. But hey, them be the breaks, kid. You had 3 opportunities to score a fucking goal on penalty kicks, and you whiffed every single one of them. But then you take a look across the pond, and what the hell was going on there? Oh yeah, and it wasn't as basic as, yeah, guess what? This is going to be the first time since '67 that they're actually in a final for a major tournament. No. This is one of those diversity is our strength, and the only reason that we're there is because of all of the diversity that is on our team, and it is still our strength. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. It was a good team that gelled together, okay? But if you're the legacy media across the pond, or if you're the stupid manager for the team, Gareth Southgate, it was far more important that they fucking pimp out an ideology than to put the best game plan forward. Because as you can see from this article from Foot the Ball, I don't know if this is a big outlet or what have you, or what the quality of it is. Never heard it before, and mostly when we talk about sports on this channel, it's pretty North American heavy, so forgive me if this is kind of a fringe outlet, but this is the underlying ideology that ended up overtaking all of the great accomplishments of making it to the final. I don't know, putting on a good performance for the crowd. It's just all about how this England team is redefining the English identity. By what? Choking in the final? I think that the English identity was pretty much decided upon well before Euro 2020 taking place, July 11th, 2021. I'm just saying. From racial inclusivity to standing up for LGBTQIA plus rights. Because that's what I want to have shoved down my throat when I want to watch my favorite fucking sporting event. No, I just want to think about politics all the time. Nothing makes me more happy. And nothing really encapsulates your average footy fan as somebody who is just sitting down with a pint and whatever beer food you have over there, in their favorite recliner with a rainbow flag on one side, the BLM fist on the other, while you're rocking a 3 Lions jersey. I don't see it, but hey, then again, not too entrenched in the scene. I'll leave it to people who clearly know a lot more than I do, like Hugh Murr. That's not a real name. Nope. You can't convince me otherwise. England may have lost, but Southgate's team shows us the nation we can be, full of choke artists and victim.
The practical and moral argument that our diversity is our strength has long been made. This team proves it.
This dude had the hindsight to at least go back and proofread what he was trying to publish. It is with The Guardian, so whatever. But really, does he want to make the case that diversity will only get you so far, but it'll stop you from getting the championship? But I guess if you change the parameters of success, you can really make it whatever you want it to be. But no. What's overshadowing all of this, though, is that people were already starting to get pissed off by this team, okay, going up to this, okay? They were really happy that they made it to the final. Oh yes, and that probably ended up coloring everything in the lead up, stuff that I kind of missed out on. Because yeah, from the semis to the finals, it was just all the history that was being brought up. And yeah, I've known about 67 for a while, and yeah, it would have been neat to see, I suppose. But no, this jackass here is a lot more about pushing his ideology than, once again, putting a good product on the field. Fans boo, but England determined to take the knee throughout the Euro Championship because, of course, England's national football team remains totally united on kneeling for Black Lives Matter going into the 2020 UEFA European Football Championship, but are being met with boos by fans because the fans are based and the multi-million-dollar elites are totally out of touch. Where have we seen that? Literally everywhere. The players manager Gareth Southgate, I keep wanting to say Southgate, and others employed by the team bent the knee to the politically charged race movement, which has origins in the United States, apparently with the murdering of George Floyd. You know the guy, most known for his English heritage, as has been their custom ever since the death of George Floyd on an ocean away in Minneapolis ahead of their friendly match against Romania in Middlesbrough's Riverside Stadium on Sunday, and were met with a chorus of boos, of course. And it continued on, and then, yeah, everything after the game, after the final, continued in some form or fashion, as what happens all the time, okay? It's nothing new. It really isn't. Your team that you're heavily invested in, it's a story as old as time. Whoever fucks up along the way ends up catching shit. But stupid Southgate here decided diversity really is our strength, and he put the 3 notable black dudes, okay? You see them right there, okay? The one guy, number 14 there, looks a little mixed, but I don't really care. No, he gave all 3 of those guys the 3 penalty kicks that would end up deciding the team. So he already prefabricated a narrative. Either diversity would be our strength and we would win based on the back of the 3 highly talented black guys that were all part of the entire team that got you to the finals to begin with. So, okay, weird flex, but okay, that would have been the narrative. Or if they ended up fucking up and people would have ended up giving them predictable amounts of shit, that's only because England is full of racists, and look at all of these racists who are in football, so we need to overthrow the fan base. Predictable. And English captain Harry Kane came out and just said, "You are not fans. We do not want you." Cool, look forward to playing in front of empty stadiums just like it was coup fair again. Condemnation of vile racists who abused Rashford, Sancho, and Saka after their penalty misses. It happens to literally everybody. You want confirmation of that? Ask the Buffalo Bills of the fucking late 90s. How they got to the Super Bowl 4 consecutive years and they ended up fucking up along the way. How much shit they caught after that. And I can tell you specifically, I remember one case, okay? There was a kicker for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This is a CFL we're talking here. He had the opportunity to beat the Montreal Alouettes, and it was in Commonwealth Stadium. I remember this game, and I don't remember the specific Grey Cup it was. He could have won the game, and he missed the fucking field goal, okay? And then that gave the Montreal Alouettes the championship, okay? People in Saskatchewan, there's not a lot to cheer for in Saskatchewan except for your crops to grow or for your dog to just continue running away. And they dumped trash on his house. They threw watermelons at his place. Paul McCallum was his name, by the way, the kicker. He ended up leaving Saskatchewan. He was a Rough Rider for like a decade at that point. And then he's played the rest of his career with the BC Lions after that because they treated him so fucking poorly. It had nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with the fact that sports fans were a little bit fucking nuts. How about that? Now, I love sports. I love baseball. I love football. I would never try to take it out on anybody, but you know what? Some people, some keyboard warriors out there decide that they're going to hop on the unstable platforms themselves on Twitter and on Instagram, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to try to cause a ruckus, and it gets amplified because anytime that you go after one of the protected classes that the diversity is our strength crowd, well, it gets amplified, and then the predictable people continue to get blamed for it. Because you think of your typical English footy fan, what do you think? Oh, he's probably just some fat straight white guy who's making all of these evil tweets and all of these hateful comments to all of these multi-millionaires who are going to forget about this in a couple of weeks' time. God, it's all so fucking stupid. Harry Kane sought to send a clear message to those behind the vile racist abuse of England's stars in the wake of last night's heartbreaking Euro 2020 final by saying, "We don't want you." Of course, I tried to do some background on Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka. They play for prominent teams. Rashford plays for Man U. Saka plays for somewhere else of significant prestige, but I couldn't really find any major accolades for these guys. But we'll just take them at their word that they're stars, I guess. The England skipper condemned the abuse aimed at Same 3 guys, I'm not saying their names again. Adding that the players who have been visibly distraught after missing penalties in the shootout defeat to Italy deserved support and backing. Yeah, you're visibly upset because you probably have, close to 1 billion people fucking watching you kick and then you whiff it? I'd imagine you'd be pretty upset to have some of your biggest blunders broadcasted and you're also on home turf. And opportunities like this, remember, this is the first major championship final that England's been in since 1967. What do you think? You're just going to get them next time, champ? And in a stinging message, she called out those behind the messages saying that they were not England fans. In a strongly worded post on Twitter, the striker said, 3 lads who were brilliant all summer had the courage to step up and take a pen when the stakes were high. Shut up. So what were these claims and what were all of these attacks on social media actually? Some fucking edgelords were putting a bunch of monkey emojis. Ooh, scary. Honestly, bro, if this was fucking Team Ireland and a couple of fucking lads ended up whiffing some kicks there, you'd probably be getting fucking pages full of potato emojis and empty liquor bottles. Like, who gives a shit, dude? If your skin is that thin, don't be a professional athlete. Okay? And based on the popularity of these attacks, I don't think anybody fucking seen this stuff. They probably had to be told about it afterwards. And as you can see here, the good white savior, oh, I was reporting everything. I've spent an hour today reporting racist accounts, but according to Instagram, monkey emojis and the N-word are okay. Or Adrian Epstein, who I wish would take inspiration from the inverse of Epstein didn't kill himself. When black heroes from England. Dude, your life must suck if you look up to people who can't even hit their target. National team suffered disgusting racist abuse. Your platform thinks that images of monkeys telling English players to go back to Africa. Wow, if that's what the monkey emoji actually says, you guys should probably rethink your emojis. Thank God I'm not on Instagram. And suffering other horrific abuse is okay. He said horrid, but he's also retarded. How can you accept this? Kick out racism, no to racism. But outside of social media posts that were also triggering and so abusive, yeah, there was a mural apparently that was vandalized, which I don't think that Rashford would have even fucking seen. And I don't even know what it says. I didn't even bother trying to figure out what the fuck it says because it's a mural of somebody who really hasn't accomplished much. But hey, he's a black multi-millionaire, so hey, somebody's got a fucking white knight for him. Literally. But yeah, we could keep running this stuff down, but I find it completely and utterly fucking stupid, to be completely honest, because yeah, guess what? All this stuff's just going to end up blown over relatively quickly. But then at the same time, you start playing with the whole identity politics fire, and you try to set yourself up for this exact situation. Now you get what you fucking deserve. And yeah, the fact that people have to coddle and try to insulate these fucking football stars, this is just a super sad state and just a terrible indictment on the lack of men in sports today. Like, there's already a terrible enough perception of football players, but Lord have mercy, that is not helping out that reputation one goddamn bit. With that said, guys, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.